Hey son, it's time for Sweden. That is being hey in Swedish. Just a stupid word because the band in question is actually Sweven. So almost like Sweden, but like a typoed version of all that stuff. And curious enough, this band actually comes from Sweden, so there you have it. Twice a wordplay for your convenience or to just humor you. Now, this band is a curious case because basically it's a continuation, the band called Morbus Chron, which is now gone and buried. However, two guys out of this trio are ex-Morbus Chron members. And actually the album is named, the band is named actually the latest Morbus Chron name. So with all this said, could be a story to be told, which is not unfortunately told here. But I could only guess it must be about money or maybe having your rights to certain names, and this is how you restart a band with a new name, but basically with same members, and well, it seems rather same kind of music. Be it as may, it's not time for me to speculate too much about these background stories. I don't want to be paranoid, I don't want to be one with the tinfoil hat. I'm just merely guessing, and maybe some interview will actually shed some light into this. But this is Sweven, and the album in question is called The Eternal Resistance. Let me sure if I got that right. No, The Eternal Resonance. You stupid. That is me being stupid. Anyway, that's for the background story and showing you the album. Here we have this actual album. Now I cannot take in my head The Eternal Resistance. I don't know why I was thinking about that. Anyway, The Eternal Resonance is here with its music, which is just some 60 minutes to start with. So once again, it's the first album out, but it's not like these guys are newcomers. So there you have it. Lengthy tracks with some 8 ones, excluding the instrumental intro, but the rest are just, these kind of majestic pieces of music. But one thing which bothers me here on this Metal Archive site, with this band that is how this is genreified. It's progressive death metal. Now, I wouldn't be so much touching the word progressive here, but death metal, really, you really have to be flexible with the term. You have to be very forgiving with the term death metal here when we're talking about Sweven. Because what in essence what we have here is kind of a hybrid between atmospheric metal, progressive metal, and kind of a melodic metal. Death metal, apart from the somewhat growly vocals, not pure growl stuff, but kind of a growly stuff. And that's about how death metal this album actually gets. Now the thing here is, this is a band that very much taps into the vein of being progressive, but not in the same ways as, say, Dream Theater and the like. So maybe that's why this death metal here, with quotation marks and not, is just used, that nobody is like putting into the same box with bands like Dream Theater and whatever. Now, whatever the genre may be, this album is very tough cookie to track in so many crack, because what it seems to be in essence here, that this is a so-called musician album. Now with musician album and so-called entertainment album, the difference is much like an art and entertainment. With entertainment, you just try to do a certain piece of art which is just, entertaining, gives you a good mood. It might be dark album to give you a kind of a dark mood and all that stuff, but it's still made for the kind of a like audience, like, yeah, you can enjoy and get related to the music and all that stuff. Whereas albums that are made for the, for the sake of art, or for the musicians, for themselves, to feel good about playing and all that stuff, it is something that might be working against the audience. I know a lot of people gonna just hate what I just said there or disagree. That is quite okay. My point here is some albums are fun to play, as a musicians, where some albums might be more like fun to play for the audience. The difference is this: sometimes you just entertain yourself with kind of a music which is just kind of a challenging to play, or gives you as musicians these vibes which you are not necessarily picking up because you are not the audience. It's like for drawing for yourself, you could do as goofy stuff as you like because you're the only one there to see it and feel it and blah blah blah. But if you're trying to do, I don't know, a comic book or a painting, and you're just doing your random stuff there, it might be very, very different. Much like movies or any other form of art or entertainment, for the lack of it. Now, I feel like with this album, the band is very much more entertaining themselves. Because lots of these riffs are something that I feel like not necessarily dumb or boring, but very much like, I kind of get you, why are you doing that? But it's not for me. In terms of like, I could imagine lots of having fun. Once again, I'm repeating this here. But is this something that you really try to capture the audience with? I really don't know. But for me, it seems like these songs haven't been made in a way that they are not kind of even supposed to work, I don't know, playing live or whatever. Because it seems like these are diving into the world where only matters when you're a musician and you're picking up certain kind of ideas. Maybe you want to emulate the songs here or the riffs, or you're just enjoying at your rehearsal place. But for the rest, it's like, dudes, these songs don't make such sense. Once again, it actually depends a lot how you react to progressive music in the first place. Much like jazz, some people just get their kicks when music is confusing, it's complex, and it's kind of a challenging. Whereas some people want to just hear you kind of a headbanging riffs, and that's it. So this is something artist versus the audience kind of a thing. And as such, I think this album will divide the lines quite strictly. Now, I find myself more into the "you're not entertaining me" box, because I feel none of these songs are exactly that interesting. While they are not bad, I feel like a lot of them are too lengthy. None of them are exactly working with kind of a killer material. It's more like, yeah, but maybe not. If I was producing these albums, I would change it altogether. So maybe I'm wrong audience in the first place. And also, it's kind of a little bit distracting to call this kind of a progressive death metal when there is not that death metal. So for death metal audience, this will feel too lame most likely. And if you're into progressive metal, you will find that this is not progressive enough. And what's up with those kind of a lame growly vocals? Because they're not real growling, but yet not at the same time they are not talented clean vocals either. So once again, this is a lot of compromise here. It's not exactly jazz, maybe lack of skill or lack of interest to do such a things, but also lacking behind with this, vocals which are quite mediocre in so many ways. If I had to compare, I would say this is much like Enslaved, but lacking the good songs, lacking the good clean vocals. Or if I could say a lot of like Tribulation, but they actually have this kind of rock and roll thing going on, and Sweven is not. So I find this rather mediocre, with a little bit on the plus side, so to speak. Hard to get into, and that's why I probably didn't get into. I am more about good, simple riffs. Doesn't matter if it's black metal, hard rock, death metal, heavy metal, doom metal, whatever. But if you get too much into the side, I want to do some art because I'm an artist. Next. So, with this warning, take a look. Maybe you will like it, maybe you will love it, and you will just say, Jerry, you're very wrong with your review. And that's the good thing. If you just happen to like it, all the better. And if not, well, I gave you a fair warning. Thank you for checking this review out. Take care and bye-bye.